edition of the Sports War. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Board. And once again, it is the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you, my friends?
I'm doing well, dude. You know, I got caught in a little bit of rain this morning, but hey, the sun's coming out. It's kind of nice out there. So,
were you running outside?
I was, dude. I got down the block.
Wow.
And then it just started like downpouring for like 10 minutes.
But you just kept going or no?
Yeah. I mean, I was like I was way down the block, like way further down. And I was just like, I'm already here. Like, I'm not going to run back and then like try and wait and then redo it. No, I just ran.
I feel like we've talked about this so many times, but I knew this coming into today. You look at the hourly forecasts. There's just going to be some rain in the morning and then clear up. And it's like everybody the last couple of days, Monday, it's just going to rain all day and all night. And it's like, I'm just sick of the wrong weather reports.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've gotten like, I forget what I was watching. Oh, it might have been honestly the John Deere Classic.
Okay.
And It was like, I feel like every like half an hour, there was like a red bar, flood warnings. And I'm just like, I'm getting notifications on my phone. And I'm just like, really? And it's, I don't know, the forecast, the weather forecast, dude, I think there's something wrong with these people, honestly.
Seriously.
Because they've been, especially like lately, I don't know if I just noticed it more.
Yeah.
But they are so wrong.
Yeah.
All the time recently. Like when they say it's going to be sunny, it ends up being like overcast and muggy. And when they say it's going to rain, it doesn't rain at all. It's like, how do they expect you to plan your life?
Have you, I mean, I guess it's such like a general thing, but like, have you heard out there, like, is there any like reasons, like, is it like laziness? Is it the wrong technology certain people use? Like, have you heard anything on that front?
No, I haven't heard much on that front, but I haven't done a lot of research, I suppose, either. But I'd be interested to get into that, dude, to figure it out. Cause I mean, we've been reporting the weather forever, you know, it's like, come on.
It seems like they almost did a better job, like, back in like the Stone Age, like they knew when bad weather was coming.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get, maybe again, like obviously, like back then, maybe they just don't have, or they don't try to attempt to have like an hour by hour like forecast for 7 days. Maybe that's why it's so crazy. But I just feel like now more than ever, dude, they've just been so wrong.
Yeah, and we're all tired of it.
I think we need to demand answers. I think at this point, like I think we deserve the answers.
Yeah,
you know,
accountability. I think that'll be a theme today, Tony.
That's a word people don't toss around as much today.
No. Everyone's so soft these days. Yeah, and I kind of was mentioning to you about, my weekend, being in AC and we were just talking about it. Oceans Casino. We have to plan a weekend there, Tony. I'm not kidding. Like, it's just so ridiculous.
I would absolutely love that, dude. I've been in AC in so long.
And I'm just trying to think, because I know you said you were there once at Oceans or twice. Did you see the park? They have a 2-acre park.
No.
It's on the 11th floor. Outdoor park with bonfires, like just all like grass and everything. Oh
my God, that's so sick, dude.
Full width of the hotel, like they call it like the Sky Lounge or whatever. And it's just I forget what's the name of those chairs, like the wooden chairs that are extra like large.
Adirondack chairs?
Yes. All over, like overlooking the ocean.
Oh man.
Indoor outdoor pool, and then the ocean being right there. Are you kidding? Tony?
That's ridiculous.
I went in the ocean every single day.
Really? How'd it feel?
It felt great. Water was surprising, like not warm. Are you kidding? But just warm to what you think of the ocean. You think you're freezing.
Right. It was not cold.
You didn't even need a towel. Like you could just air dry.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing. Dude.
And that's one thing too that I'll never understand. I mean, I get maybe some people are like scared of sharks or something, but it's like, how do you not, like, not everybody went in the ocean. Like, how do you not like swimming in the ocean? I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get that either. Again, like it depends on where you are, I suppose, too. But I would definitely swim over there. I mean, it's so much fun.
Have you been to the beach there? Okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And yeah, like I thought it was like really like the sand, everything. Like I thought it was like really, really nice. And I just love that element. Like you have all this stuff like that's inside the casino, and then to be able to just go downstairs and then go into the ocean.
Is it like a private beach for that hotel or no? It's
Anybody
just
can
part
go
of the
there.
whole
But
beach
but
area.
it's like the way, and that's such further down the boardwalk that it kind of feels like it's mainly just hotel guests.
Yeah, it's like literally the end, dude. So
complimentary beach towels. Anybody. They don't even check for your room number. So
wait, really?
Yeah.
Damn, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, so that was great.
Food was good. Carmine's. Chicken parm?
Chicken parm. But I have to say, I there were some new things that I took a liking to that I wasn't expecting. The biggest thing was, and we actually went to Carmine's twice, which I didn't even actually tell you. So, you know how we got there Thursday night.
Yeah.
So, we wanted a good meal. We were planning on going with the full group because only a couple of us went on Thursday. So we just went ourselves, and it was me, Benny, and John. And literally, Tony, this was like, I don't think we could have ordered a better meal. All right. So we had baked clams, wings, and they're like the baked wings with the lemon sauce, breaded. And they were by far the star of the show. I was like, come on, wings at an Italian restaurant. It just doesn't sound like they'd be that good. Probably the best wings I've ever had. So you couple that with the calamari bolognese,
right?
And then we finish it off with a half Titanic.
Whoa.
Are you kidding?
Honestly, dude, like that sounds so delicious. The wings,
no, but like
that's crazy.
Like so, like I don't know if you could like the lemon sauce, like just so good, like the best thing I've ever had, honestly.
And it was like falling off the bone, basically.
Yeah, so tender.
Oh my god, the Titanic too. I haven't had one of those in forever.
Yeah. Wait, when was the last time you went to Carmine's?
Oh my god, dude. Probably over 5 years ago. Honestly.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So it's been quite some time for you.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. Whenever we went to AC too, we would rarely go to Carmine's because it was in the Trop. And we would be at the Borgata, so it's just like.
And by the way, because like everybody really stayed at Oceans, but one group had to stay at the Trop. Let's just say, and I saw the room. Let's just say that place could use a little bit of a facelift. For
the Trop is not that good, dude.
No, like Carmine's sick.
Yeah,
everything else like
not good. It's very outdated there.
No, it's like you wonder how they even stay afloat. And I don't know if you knew this. I kind of actually I don't know. I guess it happened a couple years ago, but I didn't really think about it. That Caesars owns the Trop now, so it's like Bally's, Caesars, Harrah's, and then the Trop are all like tied in together. But also, long-term viability. I mean, I know Carmine's, and I'm sure they can move it or just still be open even if the casino wasn't. Is like I don't know how Bally's and Trop are going to make it down the road.
I know,
especially Bally's.
I never. Like, never been there. I've never even.
I didn't go in there this time, but it's like I don't know how you like. What makes you want to go to Bally's?
I have no idea, dude.
Maybe the only thing they have going for them is there's like some pathway that they're connected to Caesars, which everybody seems to really like.
I guess,
but it's funny too because for years we've been talking about, and you had obviously been there many times with your family. The Borgata, being the pinnacle of AC. But I have to say, like, I think Oceans has it just because of the proximity to the beach.
Yeah, I know.
That's the only thing. Like, everything else is pretty close, but that's just such an advantage. Like, it's kind of a pain to have to take a cab or whatever to go to the beach.
It is annoying, dude. And then it's like, you're valeting your car. It's in the garage. You want to take it in, take it out. It's like annoying.
Yeah. It is interesting. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not. The way that they made it over there in the Marina District, where there's no such thing as walking to another casino. Like, you think that was done intentionally?
Yeah, I do think so. They don't want you to leave.
And then I feel like the Marina District has lost its luster just because the Borgata is great, but then like the Golden Nugget, like talk about another place that needs a facelift. And then Harrah's, I used to think was like, oh, Harrah's. But the last couple of times I've been there, I feel like that's getting a little run down itself.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed there a couple times, like when I was younger, because it's a little cheaper.
Right.
But there's obviously a reason for that. It's just not. Yeah, it's not as nice, dude. There's something about walking in that Brigada, dude, and you just like smell the air.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
It's something.
Like you just want the best.
I know.
I'm almost kind of ashamed because I didn't get to go, but my friends, they went there to like premiere. I guess that's the
they went to that club. Yeah, that club is sick. Dude.
Yeah. They said that it was pretty cool. But I didn't get to go there this time. It was just the location is the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe too, like they wanted a couple of things. Like once you're there, they want to keep you there. They don't want you to go to other competition.
Yeah.
And then also maybe they just figured like it's gonna give you a better crowd because it's like it takes some work to get there. You're not just walking from off the street. Maybe that's why they did that type of design.
I know. That's why my parents love to go to the Brigada because it is off the boardwalk. There's not as many like riffraff people that just walk in to play.
Yeah,
everyone's there, stays there.
Right.
Which is obviously pretty expensive to stay there. So
yeah. But yeah, AC, what a place. And I don't know about you, and I know maybe it just sounds a little ridiculous. Like you mentioned riffraff. We know there's, plenty of that there.
Yeah.
But for my trip experience, honestly, there wasn't really too much of that, but just because I was at Oceans most of the time other than going to Carmine. So it's like, once you're in the place, like, you forget you're even in
exactly.
AC.
Yeah.
But I've always just felt like there's so much more potential there that somebody could really like revitalize it more, where you get rid of that negative connotation, like, AC, I don't really want to go, like that type of thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's something because my parents talk about too, like being when they were younger and it was kind of newer. I mean, it was like an up and coming town,
right?
But I don't know. I mean, obviously they talk about the fact that it's just a casino. There's gambling and shit. It attracts not nice people. And over time, no one really gave a shit about the surrounding area either.
But I feel like it's like, sure, maybe at some level that contributed, but I feel like it's the casino isn't the problem. It's the people in power there, the buildings, the areas, the influx of money. I feel like that's the biggest problem.
Yeah, well, obviously, I mean, the casinos people, they don't care about the people; they care about making money.
Right.
And then it's like, I don't know, even like, I mean, the surrounding towns over there are nice. I mean, think about, you're by Atlantic City, you're not too far from LBI, which is obviously a nice area. Cape May is down there as well.
Right.
That's like a really nice historical town. So I guess they just don't really care about.
Do you think could you ever see there being like a turnaround there?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take an organization or a person with a lot of money to like buy stores out, buy people out, and then start to kind of rebuild the area. Yeah, it's definitely possible, and I could see it becoming like some type of like melting pot again. Like, imagine if you felt comfortable just roaming around at night,
right,
in Atlantic City, like.
And it's just awesome because there's no other place. Really, I don't even know in the world. I know at least in the U.S. where there's a casino and beach.
Yeah. Like on the boardwalk, like you're there. Yeah, exactly.
So it just seems like it's a good opportunity.
Could be us, dude. We could do it.
Could be us. Like if you had to, like, what would be the start of the revitalization project for you, Tony? Would there be just a lot of leveling of buildings? Like, is that
it would be leveling, and I mean, if we're really getting crazy here, like we just own everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm knocking down some casinos. I don't want so many casinos.
Give me your short list. Who's on the chopping block?
Oh, on the chopping block. Okay. I mean, honestly, basically everyone besides Oceans.
Hard Rock.
Yeah, definitely the Hard Rock.
Borgata, obviously.
Yeah, that's off the boardwalks.
Caesars is
that.
good.
Yeah. I was always a big fan of the Taj Mahal when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, dude, it's like chop it all down.
And we used to, when we first went to AC, we stayed at resorts. That place, I think they could renovate one of the towers, but it's I think you put a little work into it, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Harris, I think too, if there's some remodeling done, I think it's fine.
Yeah. But I mean, you don't really need all those casinos.
You don't. But and then like one place where I just feel like it's like, even though the state of it isn't good, I feel like the Golden Nugget is on some prime real estate with that marina right there. Like that should be one of the nicest places.
And it's been there forever, dude.
Right. But right with the marina, like that's a nice element to have.
That is really nice.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. You know, I guess was just put up, but like I hadn't the last time I was there, it wasn't. Is right next to the Showboat. There's a huge indoor water park. I don't know if you heard about that.
No.
Yeah. Pretty crazy, honestly. Like
sick.
indoor outdoor feel too.
Like I would add more of that, dude. Like I would put up like again, I don't know if you've ever stayed in like a Wildwood or a Cape May.
No, I've never been there.
They have like, you know, like on the beach, like they are technically motels, but they're nice. You got a balcony facing the ocean.
Yeah.
I would start putting those in. Definitely get some restaurants that aren't in the casinos too, like around the area.
But the problem is it's funny because I play with some random people golfing.
Yeah.
And they're telling me these places that are not in a casino. And it's just, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not
gonna leave the casino.
I'm not going there. But I know what you mean. Yeah. That is definitely needed. But yeah, I guess it's just some leveling of buildings and really just in terms of crime and drugs or violence, whatever. I just think a really a more stricter policy, you know, where that stuff is like it's just not going to happen. Because I just feel like, you know, I don't know this is just kind of just me inferring this, but I just feel like the people there just think they could just do whatever. Like, oh well, that's just how it is here.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, I don't really see many officers.
I mean, I don't blame them. I would.
Right.
I wouldn't want that job.
No, I wouldn't.
When was the last time your parents were in AC?
Oh, I don't know. Probably less than a month ago.
Okay,
like, for sure. Yeah.
It's just always a Borgata.
Yeah, never really changes.
Is there a staple restaurant in the Borgata that they go to, or I know you got the Homestead.
Yeah, it's tough. They kind of go Angeline's. You ever been there?
I heard of it. I don't know.
It's definitely like it's newer. Like within the past, probably I want to say 8 years.
Okay,
you know, like so newer for there, right? And it's Michael Simon is the famous chef. He's a Food Network chef.
Yes,
all Italian food, grandmother's recipes and stuff, and it is so good, dude. It's like the pasta's made fresh daily. And they have an X amount of it, so they could be out of it or whatever. My mother, it's always like add a lobster tail to the pasta dish. It's just like
add a lobster tail.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
I feel like you're ready for AC right now.
I'd pack up and go right now.
Right to the beach or right to the tables?
No, right to the Borgata. Probably get some food first. I'm hungry now talking about this. And then definitely tables. For a couple hours.
Okay.
And then hit the water club for sure.
There we go.
You know, they have the outdoor pool.
Yeah.
With you get bar over there, shit. You can get food at the table. It's so
have
sick.
You I know that like within the last, 5 years or something, they built an outdoor pool for the regular hotel. Have you been to that one or no?
For the Borgata?
Yeah. I know, like because it's now the MGM tower, but I don't know. Is there a difference with the pools?
Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's it is relatively new, but I don't know. I feel like I've been there, and a lot of the times it's closed.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I don't really know why, because it is sick. It's the same deal where it's like they have like giant chess and bocce ball and cornhole and shit, and great like I forget what they call it. But yeah, it's like hit or miss because sometimes it's closed, and you're like, well, what the hell is this?
I think, I mean, it's got to be open.
Dude, the indoor pool at the Borgata is not.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like they had to do that. Like, wow, that thing is tiny.
I know, and it's like, I mean, it's cool, but it's like I'm inside.
Yeah.
I don't want to be inside in the pool. Like it's cool for when it rains, I guess. And it's I don't know. It's also again like I feel like that area is a little outdated too.
It is. But maybe with MGM, back in the fold there the last couple of years, they'll start to pump some more money in there.
Yeah, the water club is sick, dude.
Yeah,
I love the.
I never stayed there, but everybody's always been like,
it's really nice. And if you stay there, you get more access to their pools, like whatever. And the rooms are basically the Borgatas, so it's nothing new.
But the room we stayed at Oceans too, full like large oversized windows just directly facing the ocean.
Are we in a suite right now? Like what's the
no, just regular room. But the regular room, I mean, geez, I mean, it's a suite that they don't have at the Tropicana, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That's so funny, dude.
Oh man, but it's really nice, Tony. Like, right now, I feel like that was just a nice diversion against the negative that is going around, specifically in baseball. But I guess we could start with a little more positive first.
Dude.
Temporarily, just to postpone that as much as possible. Your sleeper pick Sepp Straka
Can't believe it, dude.
wins the John Deere. Unbelievable. What a 4 days he had, especially that, he started the week over par at 73, but then went 63, 65, 62, and that's 62. I mean, he doubled 18. So
I know.
I mean, if he parred that's a 60. I mean, he was just lights out all weekend. And for you to mention him in your sleepers, and then he gets the job done, almost collapses.
Crazy.
I mean, unbelievable, no?
Yeah, I really would like to have seen like what the odds were of him winning. I mean,
I'm sure there was a lot of fluctuation.
Oh yeah. But from like on Wednesday, from when we previewed it, like forget about it, dude. But it was really crazy. I did catch Sunday. I want to say most of Sunday. And I think he came out hard. Like he just eagled the first hole, and then it was like birdie, birdie, birdie. And then I think he like had 4 birdies in a row, like 6, 7, 8, and 9 or something like that, or maybe 12,
11 through 14.
11 through 14.
But also on the front, this is how he started out: birdie, eagle, par, birdie, par, birdie, birdie, par, birdie.
Like so ridiculous. And
28.
Like, I think he was going into Sunday. I think he was 12 under or 8 under, and everyone else was like 14 under.
Right.
And they were saying on the broadcast too, they were like, how, like these guys were probably looking at the scoreboard, like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
I could only imagine, honestly, what was in the other players' minds when Straka really came out of nowhere with just absolute fire. And he was killing it, dude. I mean, his drives were great. Like playing off the fairway was amazing. His iron work was great. He even had some tough shots, like from bunkers, where he was just like wedging it out, and it just be plopping on the green right in front of the hole. And it's just like, I mean, the man was just on a heater, dude. Like he just had momentum. He was feeling it. Definitely got a little scary there. I watched him double bogey 18.
Head in the head in the hand.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my god. I was like, wow, dude, you kind of like I thought he blew it. Like I thought it was over. I'm like, wow, there's like 4 holes left, and these guys are like 18 under. He's at like 21 under. But I forget who's the guy who came
Brendan Todd.
Oh no,
and Alex Smalley.
I think I want to say Smalley was the one who was in second at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he blew it on like 16. He blew a putt on 16.
Oh, well, Todd bogeyed 16.
Oh, then maybe it was Todd. Yeah, he bogeyed 16, and then his drive off of 17 was like in the fucking woods. And it was crazy to see like a bad putt, that bogeyed that hole, and then the bad drive right after. It was just a little bit of a collapse,
And like, for him and Todd not to have a birdie the last 4 holes combined.
Yeah. I mean, and that's
par 5 in there.
That's
17.
like when I was watching, I'm like, that's complete collapse in the pressure.
Yeah.
Because with 4 holes left, you knew Sepp's score. Like,
right.
You just couldn't get it done.
Yeah. But I think that's why those guys, are never going to be mentioned with as like we like to say, upper echelon of the tour. I think there's a reason.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because we've seen this go both ways. And, Straka, I mean, he's been on leaderboards, before, but it's like, do you see it at all possible where, a win like this propels him to more down the road? It was only his second career win.
Yeah.
30 years old.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's really hard to tell because I suppose anything can happen. But I mean, if you were to go on some type of run, I mean, this is exactly how he certainly set himself up for it. I mean, he had a great 17 holes yesterday, so yeah, I could see it for sure, dude.
And and you look at this too. I mean, the past month, other than a 16th at the Memorial, you had a missed cut, a 38th, and a 64. So, coming into this, he wasn't playing his best golf, and I know, like score wise, and just how the players were performing. I mean, it wasn't to the levels of the Travelers Championship, but yet, I think it was definitely gettable. I mean, when you were watching, this tournament yourself, I mean, did it seem for these guys that this course was playing pretty easy, or it didn't stand out that it was overly easy compared to other stuff that you've watched?
I mean, I don't know. It did seem like they were having a pretty easy time going through.
Okay.
At least like the top like 8 guys, I want to say, you know. 'Cause I mean, you know, for those, you know, top 5 scores to be hovering around 20 under, I mean, I think that shows like, yeah, they play the course pretty well.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's just a common thing. And like you look at, for instance, Sepp Straka, you know, his only other win was the Honda Classic. And that's another tournament that's developed into in just a weaker field.
Okay.
But I think you have to look at it both ways where, you know, sure, maybe a guy like John Rahm, you know, could have shot 30 under here, but it's like, regardless, you know, you're only scoring for yourself. So regardless of who you're going against, I mean, you know, having a score of 21 under, no matter what tournament you're playing, you know, that's a pretty strong mark.
Yeah. Speaking of 21 under, you know, Jay went golfing yesterday.
21 over on the front 9.
Yeah. No, he went, I don't know the name of the place, but it was really fancy in Watertown area.
Watertown?
Yeah, Waterbury, Watertown.
Like, was it a public course?
No. Oh, yeah, definitely is. He went, because Reese is from Watertown. He went up to Reese and they golfed around there.
Okay.
He would have to tell you specifically, you know, if he would maybe it's watching and want to call in right now. He totally could. But I think he shot a 130, he was telling me. Oh, wow, Brian.
Well, no. Hey, you're looking at a guy who's been there before with 130. I'll tell you that much. And you know, it's his first time out. That's all right. I just, the only reason I chuckled is you were kind of like setting it up, you know what I mean, for me. So it's just like, how did you want me to react? You know what I mean? Like, you wanted to get me going on it.
Sure. I mean, but you know, I mean, the laugh right away.
Yeah. Does Reese golf a lot?
Yeah, he's really good.
Oh, he is.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Grew up golfing family. You know.
What else was Jay saying about it? Was he like real pumped? Like,
he was saying, because he was, you know, naturally like Reese being good and his buddies being good. Jay was getting a lot of pointers too from them. They were being pretty good about it. But he was saying how like he had some good drives off the tee. But it was definitely like his iron work is what he needs to work on.
Okay.
But he said he only lost 3 balls the whole day.
Wow.
So that was pretty impressive to me. And then he was telling me that like, you know, fancy course, they had carts, but he was seeing guys who had like remote control hand carts.
Yeah. Those have been around.
Kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah, no, those are. I don't know. I feel like you're kind of the same way. And I know obviously I'm out in the course a lot more, but like, I don't just walking, like it's just tough for me to get there. I just feel like golf should be in a cart. I mean, I guess if it's like a really short course, but it's like, I guess if you're pushing the cart, whatever, but I just never wanted the walking to take away from how I was going to play. And that's why I never really liked walking.
And it definitely does.
Especially if you had to carry your bag. Oh, forget about it.
Yeah. Very true.
Now I'm just looking on here. I don't know if it would ring a bell or not, but there's just 2 courses that they list. This is like looking up Prefers Country Club, Watertown Golf Club, and Crestbrook Golf Course. Either one ring a bell?
No.
We'll get Jay out of it.
Do you want me to try to call Jay right now?
Yeah. Let's see if we can get him on the line.
All right. Let's see if we can get Jason on the line here. What's your time? Is it 10:30? I think we'll have a good shot.
We got a good shot
of him just not being on the phone.
Let's see.
Like in a meeting right now.
But how is he not watching Sports Sport right now?
I know he should be.
Yeah,
he should be.
Maybe he's cooking up some eggs.
Yeah, maybe
some egg flips.
Some egg flips, dude. You like that? You love that.
Actually,
you really do. Hello.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yo, what are you doing?
You're live on the Sports Sport.
You are live on the Sports Sport right now.
Oh shit! What's going on, guys? How are we?
Good, man. How's it going? We heard you had a nice round on the course yesterday.
Oh, Barnes. You know, I was thinking about you the whole time I was on the course, man. I was like, would Barnes approve of my swing? Would like Barnes, what tips would Barnes give me?
Yeah, Tony said they were dishing out a lot of them.
Yeah. I was kind of stiff in the hips, Barnes. I was all arms.
Oh,
and like,
okay.
The second I got my the hip action in, you know, like the back and then the forward and then turn your belt buckle towards the ball, you know, kind of deal.
Yeah.
And it makes you get that rotation on the back foot. I was if I made the contact, it was perfect, dead straight, you know. But like, it's all about putting it all together.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was a good day, dude. I was really excited to get out there, and I'm like, now I have the bug. I'm just like, Tony, let's go. Let's go out. We gotta get golfing.
No, he needs to hear more of that. Definitely.
I know.
We gotta drag some of these fools out there, dude.
Yeah.
It's
You might have to go to a par 3 just to get started, though, just for Tony.
Yes, exactly. No, I think a par 3 would be nice. Barnes, have you ever played at Chippeney in Watertown?
Chippeney? No, it's a public course.
No, it's a private course.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that's definitely why. But also, I haven't really golfed in that area too much. So it must have been pristine then, no?
Oh, dude, it was a great course.
But is it like they're yelling at you for like not replacing your divots instantly, or no?
Oh no, there was definitely a like it was just like a thing you did once after you hit, you made a divot, you had to like
you put the dirt, the fill or the dirt,
the dirt, whatever that stuff is. Like that was like they told us that when we were getting the cart. Like they're like, make sure you fill your divots. Like it's like a big deal. Like they literally had the dirt like on the hole, like on the tee box, and then there was like dirt in the cart. So like it was a big to do. And like it looked like they were doing like some new irrigation too. So like
cool.
There's lots of tubing all over the place. So that was kind of annoying. But other than that, dude, it was a great course. And the weather held up too.
Yeah.
It was supposed to.
Now, did you think the greens were like lightning or no?
Were they like lightning?
Usually a private course, like they're so fast, like you just tap it, like instead of like having to put some speed behind the putts.
You know, now that you say it, yeah, they were pretty fast.
Because usually, like I'm saying, like somebody like you haven't played all year, you go there first putt and it's just off the green, like just a normal little putt, and it just like flies off the green.
Yeah, no, I was having trouble with that all day, Barnes. You know,
Tony told me it was just ironwork. I mean, I'm getting conflicting reports here.
Well, yeah, you know, it was pretty much all of it. I would say like the driver was good. I was hitting them straight. They were on the fairway most of the time.
There we go.
But like the short game, I was doing a lot of short game. There was a lot of chipping, and I need new clubs too. Like I don't have a sand wedge. You know, like my buddy Reese, he has one of those 60-degree wedges. And
those are nice.
Dude, it was like night and day compared to my pitching wedge. Like I was just able to like
get under it.
It felt like I was picking up the ball and kind of just like lofting it over to towards the hole. You know, it was interesting.
Yeah, no, I love the 56, 60-degree wedges. Those are good. I was gonna ask, was there one hole, one shot, anything like that stood out where it was like you had your moment?
Ooh, early on, I was driving them like dead straight.
Like how?
And that was like
how far are we talking?
Not far at all. Maybe 200 yards.
I mean, that's not terrible.
On a par 4, you know, it like set me up for a good shot. But like Tony said, the iron work needs improvement. So like, I would get to a good spot, and then I would try to like use my 7-iron or something just to get it towards the hole. And I don't know, I was in the rough sometimes, and like the rough really screws with me too. You know, you gotta really sit down on that thing and make sure you get underneath it.
Did we get you in the did we get you in the bunker at all?
I got in the bunker twice.
How were you on the way out of there?
So I mean, I've had a couple golf lessons, you know, like I know you gotta chunk it and then follow through.
Yeah.
So like the first time I just chunked it. I didn't follow through, and it hit the top and then it rolled back down.
Oh.
And then like I did the whole I chunked it, followed through, and like it was a nice shot. It actually like landed on the green, stayed on the green.
There you go.
So like there were shining moments, Barnes. So,
I'm so happy to hear that, Jay.
Yes. Enough for me to keep coming back. So
yeah, there we go. And I always say with the sand shots, it's like everybody kind of reinvents the wheel. I always tell everyone, just hit your normal chip shot. Don't even pretend that the sand's not even there, because it's always
yeah,
every time. How are you out of the sand, Tony?
No, literally, just hearing that. I think the last time we golfed, I'm like, yes, that is what you need to do.
Yeah,
you know, and it's sick, dude. When you have it, like a nice shot of the bunker, just like plops down on the green, you're like, Fuck yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
nice. Oh no,
the
go ahead.
stand sprays up too.
Yeah, dude, it's like a fucking movie.
Very cinematic.
And it's nice too because there's usually backspin coming out of the bunker. So
Mhm.
even if you hit it like kind of hard, after a couple rolls, it stops.
I know. It's like it almost looks like you knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Jay, I think your homework assignment for this week is to get Tony committed on the golf course.
Yeah, no, we got to get him out. We got at least a par 3, you know, like 9 holes.
Yeah, get him riled. And in the short game, he says is his specialty. So what better than a par 3 that would highlight those areas of his game?
Yeah.
That's true. Tony did have an issue. He had the shanks.
Oh, really?
At one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, he just like couldn't, like it would always like go off to the right. What's that called? That's a
Slice.
A slice.
Yeah.
And then to the left is a hook.
And I've had all of them, Jay, twice over, 3 times over, you know. And the thing that I always try to tell myself, and it's tough not to do this, but you have a terrible day on the course. Mentally, you think it's over. What's the point? But then you just take a step back and you're like, wait a second. Haven't I felt like this before? And then I went out there and I killed it. Why is this time any different? So you're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. That's the name of golf.
Hell yeah, dude. I was like thinking about quitting my job, you know, just joining the PGA Tour.
Yeah, I mean, would be pretty nice.
That would be sick, dude. I mean, if you want to do that, Jay, like we'll document it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
And it starts with today, honestly, because we got this bite, dude.
It starts with today.
Yeah, it starts with right now, dude.
We don't have another second, Jay.
So I want you to put us on the party line with your boss. Call him right now.
Yeah, tell him you're done.
Tell him you're done.
Hey, John, I played golf for the first time this summer. I'm quitting my job.
Oh man, that is good stuff. I'm really happy that we got you on the line, got some insight. I mean, this is great.
Yeah, dude. We gotta go golfing. It's gonna happen this summer.
All right. We'll
yes, Tony.
Dot the I's, cross the T's, Jay.
Honestly, no, I'm gonna make huge strides. Like get the work done and let's hit the par 3, dude.
Yeah. But I mean, while we're going golfing, I mean, we might as well just go to a regular course, right, Jay?
Oh, you want to go to Fairchild Wheeler?
I mean, honestly, I would rather go to Fairchild than the par 3.
Okay. I would like to try Green River, but we'll work towards that.
Oh, Great River.
Great River. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think, we'll need to get a couple rounds under our belt because honestly, I can't even break 100 there, maybe.
Tough course, really?
Oh, my God. But it's so nice.
I hear great things about it.
Yeah, but it's so hard. Jay, you know anybody who's played there?
Milford.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sacred Hearts.
Milford, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know. I've never played there, but I've heard great things. A kid I know works there.
Yeah, Burke works there, and I'm pretty sure Reese has golfed there before. He's told me that.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So down the road, Jay, down the road for that. But we'll go Fairchild prior.
Works. Yeah.
19th
hole.
Yeah, I go with the range later today. Who knows?
There we go. I want you to send a video so we could put it up on the Downtime Instagram. You just like a swing in action or something.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah. And that, I mean, you record yourself. That's how you get better. You
That's
see
very
the
true.
swing path, the tendencies.
You're right, Barnes. You're right.
So good stuff there out of Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you for picking up the phone, honestly, and we caught you off guard, and you were a good sport.
Of course, I love the sports sport. I love talking to you guys.
But all right, bro. We'll talk soon. All right, hit him straight.
Yeah, sounds good. You too, Barnes. You too.
All right, man. I'll see you.
All right.
And that was Jay Lubertelli on the phone.
Yeah.
Calling from home, baby.
Now, first of all, Tony, do we know Cody Travis?
So Cody Travis just commented, who do you think is going to win the home run derby tonight?
Which we're going to get to.
Which we will get to. I don't know Cody, I don't think.
Thank you for tuning into the sports sport. I hope we can get him to stick around for our derby preview. Yes, I hope so as well. I'll be coming up in a few minutes. I do know quite a few Codys, obviously, but Cody Travis. Yeah,
I do.
But
I mean, obviously, I'm a Mets fan. You could figure it out, okay?
Yes, exactly. And I don't even need to talk about myself for a second here when it comes to baseball, but I guess, yeah. I mean, that we can go there. I was just gonna say, I guess Wednesday we'll do the preview Scottish Open. So everybody getting tuned up for next week's Open Championship at Royal St. Liverpool
Scotland
in Holy Lake. What?
Is it raining? It's gonna rain there, dude.
Oh, I mean, but it'll rain, it'll snow, it'll be 90. I mean, literally that's what happens at these courses.
That's
so
sick, dude.
Up your alley, just the 4 a.m. tee times. But maybe Michael. I mean, Michael should be good at getting up to watch.
Yeah, he'll be there.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm sure he'll be on at the edge.
Yeah,
because what else?
Yeah, what else are you gonna put on at that hour?
Yeah.
But we made it 40 minutes, all good vibes, all good talk. But now we have to go to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play! Stop it, Tony. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Too deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right. So unfortunately, was not the weekend that either I or the Yankees had in mind against the Chicago Cubs. And this was on the heels of a very disappointing finish to their series, the previous series with the Orioles, where won the first 2 games, then dropped the next 2. And right now, as we mentioned the home run derby, which will be tonight, second half of the season starting Friday, the Yankees will go into the second half losers of 4 out of 5. And 2 of those losses coming against a team in the Chicago Cubs that is under 500. So clearly no excuses there. And like we've seen, we had some inconsistent hitting over the weekend. So the Yankees finally showing some type of accountability. Not to say that us fans think that it's going to make too big of a difference, because there are still guys that are really, detriments to the Yankees having success. But after yesterday's loss, which we'll talk about in a second, they do fire hitting coach Dylan Lawson. So a guy that, not too many people were familiar with from the start.
Good move. Obviously good move, but
yeah. And I guess they said, they're going to bring in somebody for Friday's game in Colorado from outside the organization.
Really?
We haven't had rumblings of who, of what, of when. But I've mentioned this before, and I know it's not going to happen, but boy, would I love to see Tino or Paul O'Neill.
Paul O'Neill would be sick, dude.
Yeah, Paul O'Neill. I think Tino is the manager just because of like the fieriness, but Paul O'Neill as a hitting coach, oh my God. But it's some crazy statistic too. And this is the first time, that Cashman, since he's been the general manager, has fired a coach.
Right.
Anybody on the coaching staff in the middle of the year. So it shows the depths, the desperation that this offense has. But
more respect for Cashman, or
no, because you want to shake things up.
Right.
Boone would have been the guy to go.
Yeah.
The whole staff other than Matt Blake, interim manager. That would be shaking it up. But whatever, we'll see if somebody could come in, a new thought process. Now,
who do you think it will be?
I honestly don't know.
Really?
Especially because you're talking outside the organization.
And they can't bring up someone from the minors that
they could,
work with these guys.
I don't know if it's a PR thing, but I think they're set on somebody with new ideas. But I have to ask Tony. Even if you get the best available guy, is there only so much work you can do with Donaldson, with LeMahieu, with Stanton, with Glaber? Is there only so much that can be done, even if you have like one of the best guys out there available to fill that role?
I don't know, man. It's tough to say if that's really your answer. You would imagine that, their hitting coach, obviously with the offensive struggles the Yankees have had, their hitting coach is someone who you can probably hold accountable in terms of not maybe doing his job. I mean, again, we talk so much about the chicken parm dinner with Volpe. And it's like, he apparently had worked, had talked things out at this dinner, and was able to help his batting average. What's his average now? Like 230,
like 220s.
220. But I mean, before that, it was like 200.
Yeah.
Right.
190.
Like, yeah. So
yeah.
And this is something that came from the chicken, and we joke about it, but it's like, in reality, like, the hitting coach didn't necessarily, like, it's not like this was his idea,
Well,
it's like,
and how about it was such a basic thing, Tony? All he did was just look at film of when he was having success.
Right.
So if you're not even doing that, then what are you actually doing?
You're not being a coach. That's what you're not doing. So, I mean, it's like, obviously firing him will help. Bringing someone else new will help for sure. Can you be like, oh, this is going to be the answers to all their woes? Probably not. I mean, these guys still have to get out there and figure it out. But certainly having the right coach in place will definitely help, dude. Absolutely.
And we're going to talk about the Friday's game, which they got blanked 3-0. Jameson Taillon, whose ERA is over 6, goes 8 scoreless innings against his former team. 1 hit, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. So that's just an example. You could put in a different, like, the players. I mean, you got to step up. Like,
we should go back to the tape, because I think Mike and I talked about that.
I mean, it's insane,
ridiculous.
So that was just completely embarrassing. One thing that this series, did provide me, other than I was excited about Rodon. I think he pitched well, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, the 1 home run allowed. To Cody Bellinger, which is a good segue into my next point. I think I'm actually on board with a Cody Bellinger trade. He had a nice series against us, and he goes into the All-Star break, averaged just under 300 at 298, 9 homers, 29 RBIs with an 846 OPS. I think he can help us, and I don't think, because he's going to be a free agent after the year, that it's going to be some crazy compensation package. So I think Bellinger in the Bronx makes a lot of sense.
If he's not already in Queens.
You really think that could happen?
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if there was a specific rumor or...
No, nothing specific.
Okay. So yeah, they definitely need more offense. That's very, very evident. And that was just so embarrassing on Friday. That's one of those things. No excuse.
No excuse.
That's an embarrassment. That's really tough to take. And I guess if you want to take a positive away from the weekend, even though there really isn't, not yesterday, but Saturday was a nice game. Garrett Cole pitched well, 7 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. And you had Stanton hit 2 home runs. Of course, he didn't end up doing anything yesterday. But you hope that really gets G going in the direction that we need him to go. Donaldson homering, that doesn't do anything for me. But Glaber seems like he's kind of had a couple good games in a row here, other than his lapse yesterday. But this was against Drew Smiley, so it's not like we always say the who's who of starting pitchers, but you did get him for 4 runs over 4, and added on another 2 from the bullpen off Rucker before Assad shut you down in the last 3 innings. So good with Cole, good with King, and at that point in time, you had an opportunity here to go into the All-Star break on a high note. You'd had 50 wins. You would feel good. You won a series, but they just completely blew it. There's no other way to say it. There's a couple culprits for sure. But a 4-run lead in the 7th inning in a tailor-made double play ball. I mean, I almost wanted Glaber just off the roster after that, Tony. And I know it all doesn't come down to that. There were other times they could have scored runs and came back and won, and the bullpen didn't exactly step up. But I know you must have seen the play by now. I mean, that's as basic and pathetic as it gets. And it makes me feel like, because we see him make outs on the bases sometimes, he just is checked out half the time. I don't get it with Glaber.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it has to be a loss of focus thing because, like you said, I mean, you see him make some ridiculous plays sometimes.
Yeah.
And for something like this, that was so, it just seemed like he was just so nonchalant and like hazardly playing this ball. I mean, it has to be like a mental focus thing, or just like a taking this play for granted, or just not, like I said, like just not having the focus, not having the mental fortitude to remain in a certain state mentally throughout 9 innings of a game. Whatever it is, I mean, it's not good for the team. It's not good for him. Like it's not good for anything really. It's something that I think he should be really sit down and like talked about, because like focus should not be an issue.
But is the answer getting rid of him? I mean, he's been on the team a while. We've seen that. I mean, what is the answer?
I mean, if this is something, again, like, he's made mistakes like this in the past, if his level of focus is continuing to be an issue, you got to get rid of him. I mean, that's something that I feel like for a professional athlete is somewhat like unacceptable, is to just not be able to focus in the game. Because it's kind of like, what are you doing? Like, this is what you're paid to do. You're in it right now. This is a game. You got to focus, dude.
Yeah. So I don't know. I wanted to get rid of Glaber a couple years ago. So I don't know. Maybe he gets moved to the deadline. They tried to do it last year. But what do you think was a worse, like just more, I guess, or more embarrassing? Boone pulling Herman after allowing one hit and throwing 74 pitches, or Glaber messing up that play?
That's a good question. I mean, I gotta go with Boone pulling Herman there.
Like, right? I mean, it's just there's no.
I mean, there's really no reason. I mean, 74 pitches. Obviously, he's not a lot. We've seen him throw a lot more, even more recently. And it's just like it's just like why? I mean, show me why did you do that? Like, we're going into the All-Star break right now. It's not like you're trying to save him for something, or if something was ailing him, I can kind of get that if he was like, yo, this doesn't feel right. But that's not what it wasn't the case. He was like, oh, statistically, the statistics told him to do that. Yeah. Like, and it's just like the bullpen is lined up. It's like, well, yeah. You're going into this break here. What, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense why you would pull him. And then on the fact that you're giving up just one hit, dude, which was a solo home run, no? Or was it?
Oh, yeah. Who?
Suzuki?
Oh, it was Suzuki.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they took him off after a walk to lead off the 7th inning. But yeah, I just think, again, just showing
bad managing.
Yeah, that he's not the guy. And yeah, sure, it was nice. Volpe has, he homered, back to back with Akashioka, and it's the second time they've done it the past week. So, he's looked really good. You feel very confident in him. I think he has 14 home runs before the break, which, I mean, is pretty good. And I think the average is continuing to climb. But other than that, and I guess Garrett Cole and the bullpen, other than yesterday, I know it was a little shaky, but overall they've been really good. But you don't feel good about anything else. You're 8 games back. You're currently out of the playoff picture. You're 1 game back in the wild card. You're 1 game back of being last in the division. I mean, you start in Colorado to open the second half, but it's just, I don't know. It's how do you turn this around? How do you save the season? Where do you go from here?
Well, I think firing your hitting coach was a good call.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think unfortunately what I think Yankee fans want is a change in managerial spots, and a change of GM, which, I mean, I don't know. It's probably not going to happen this season, right?
What do you think what would be more beneficial, though, regardless of when it is, Boone or Cashman going?
I think if it's right now, like mid-season during the break, it would be a Boone. Because I feel like that is the type of play. We've seen it before, like with the Phillies, for example. Getting rid of a manager, it does more directly change what the clubhouse is like, how players feel going into practice. I mean, right? Was it Harper saying that he hated going to work because of Girardi. Like he hated going there.
Right.
Which that could drastically change the attitudes of players and their play. So I would say that's what it would be.
And like always, we know. I mean, barring something catastrophic, though, I mean, most likely not happening. So I guess schedule wise too. I mean, not terrible to start, and you would think better. Playing in Colorado should jumpstart the offense a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The A's without Trout, Ohtani dealing with a blister, home against Kansas City, and then 2 Subway Series games against the Mets. I mean, it's all you have to play well during that stretch.
Right.
What is that? That's a 11-game stretch. I mean, as bad as it's been, I mean, you need to go like 8-3 in that stretch. I don't know if you can, but that's what you need to do to get back on some solid footing here.
Yeah, I mean, other than the Mets, really, I mean, you should be able to win some games.
Tony, I'm not saying, believe me, I'm not saying that we're like lax to beat the Mets in those games. I'm just saying those are games you're capable of winning.
I mean, I'm not saying that they're locked, but you're thinking that they are.
No, nothing is a lock anymore, unfortunately. After you lose series to the Cubs, to the Cardinals.
I know the Cardinals one is tough, dude.
And the Tyone. I mean, that's so you could not wait to get rid of Jameson Tyone, and then he does that. I just. Is it really though, Tony, as simple as hitting approach, launch angle? Is that really why these games happen as often as they do?
I think hitting approach has more to do with it.
But what in their mind, what is their approach that they've been doing that has been miserably failing? Like, what is that approach?
I don't know. Misreading pitches, maybe, because they're swinging at pitches I feel like are just nowhere.
Okay, so you think they're not being patient? That's a problem. They're letting balls that would be ideal to rip.
Right.
They're just letting those go, but then they're extending the strike zone, and that's what's causing this inconsistent offense.
No, yeah. I mean, if these pitchers know, it's like, hey, like if I can pitch it low and away outside the strike zone and they're still swinging at it, I'm going to keep doing that. Like, why?
Discipline.
Yeah.
So hopefully the new guy that they bring in here for the hitting coach will really put an emphasis on that.
I also feel like they look at a lot of fastballs.
Yeah, that they should be hitting it.
And it's like
act like it's inside, but
I know.
It's not.
And it's like I don't know if they're expecting it to break at some point, but like it just seems like they're not reading that pitch right.
Yeah.
So
even though I know there's been lower points in this season, unfortunately, to me right now, and I'm almost embarrassed at what a range of emotions I've had on this show throughout this season. But
really,
I mean, it's ridiculous. Tony.
Yeah.
It's a complete seesaw. You win those first two games against the Orioles, games that you needed to win, and then like, where'd you go? Right?
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I feel like last season was a little worse for you, though.
Yeah, but at least at this time last year, they had 61 wins, Tony.
Yeah,
and they have 49 right now. So, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I guess I'm bracing for the worst, hoping for the best, but bracing.
Right.
Hardly bracing for the worst. And, maybe, especially if they come out flat to start this road trip, maybe more moves are on the horizon. I don't know. But all I know is it's not a good feeling. And I keep saying it, but I want to feel confident. I want to feel excited about the prospects of my baseball team. And it's like, we're not even close to that, Tony. We're just saying our prayers that we don't fall off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not how the Yankees, that's not the feel you should have being a Yankee fan.
No, you're totally right.
So let's hope the second half, it's a different story. Friday you'll get Rodon on the hill in Colorado, Schmidt on Saturday, Cole on Sunday. So go win some games.
What do you think about Rodon this weekend?
I mean, I feel good, but then, Colorado, the altitude, you should sweep this series, but would I be shocked if it's another 2 out of 3 loser? No. And that's so pathetic. So hopefully they want to show that they have a pulse and that they're going to turn things around, because they're not showing it right now. We'll have a couple days off to think about it and just hope for better results. I know you're not feeling great yourself, Tony.
Right.
So if you could enlighten us.
Yes. So obviously, pretty similar take. Oh, no, it's not the right Friday. Here's the right Friday. Pretty similar take. For the Mets in terms of my feeling about their season. I mean, it's the same deal. You went on the 6-game winning streak, which they got their 6th win, on Friday, beating the Padres, 7-5. Being the Mets that they were, they were playing really well. You had Verlander on the mound against a Yu Darvish. And, for me, I kind of feel bad about Darvish because he didn't pay a lot of money, from the Padres. I think he had something like 12 or 15 days off coming into this game too. So you expect a strong start from him. And the guy lasted 5 innings. He had 3 earned runs, only 4 Ks, and threw 100 pitches over those 5 innings. So something's wrong with Yu Darvish. 4.87 ERA, someone who was in the Cy Young contention, last season. So pretty crazy to see that from him. But in terms of the Mets scoring, I mean, obviously 7 runs was looking great. And it started in the very first inning. Vogelbach reaches on an infield single. It was probably one of the weakest hits you'll ever see, and just absolutely splits the third baseman and the shortstop. Vogelbach actually will go on to get another infield single, and it'll be the first time in his career he's gotten 2 infield singles in a game, which is just pretty interesting to note that. But that infield single, brings in Brendan Nimmo, who scores the first run of the game. Bottom of the first, though, as Verlander has typically done, starts out a little bit shaky. I believe he and both Yu Darvish walked the leadoff batter this game. But Machado with an RBI double, Kim scores, and then Machado scores on an error, I believe, from Luis Guillorme, who was playing third base at the time, just totally misplayed a ball, hit the third base. So a fielding error on his part. You hate to see that. But then after that, Grisham double scored Gary Sanchez. But top of the third there, Lindor picks up a little bit with a solo shot. I believe his 18th home run or his 19th. There's 18th or 19th home run of his career, of his season. And I mentioned the RBI infield single from Vogelbach. The second one was in top of the 5th there. Scored Lindor, who got on base again. And then McNeil doubles to right in the top of the 10th. Here we are now for the extra innings here, which scored Marte. Alvarez singled to right after that, scored McNeil. And then Lindor singled after that, scored Alvarez and Pham, which obviously brought the score to 7-3. Robertson comes in the 10th, gives up a 2-run home run. Obviously, the ghost runner was already on second. It was Juan Soto. Machado with the dinger, though, makes it 7-5. But after that, I think there was a fly out to right field. Marte ended the game, something like that. So a huge gutsy win from the Mets. Again, what my mentality is for the Mets at this point, it was a 6-game winning streak. First time, I think, this season they've had a 6-game winning streak. You had some mistakes. Guillorme, Marte wasn't great at the plate, but Tommy Pham looked great. I mean, he was heads up. I think Kim in the 9th or the 8th tried to stretch a double into a triple, and Pham, just being the cool, calm, collected veteran player he is with a good arm, throws him out. I don't know what Kim was thinking. I don't know if you saw this, Brian, but I think it was the 8th inning with 1 out. Kim hits a ball into left field. Pham tracks it down at the wall. He plays it off the wall, I should say. And Kim is at second base and just decides to run to third. So Pham throws him out at third.
Wasn't
easily.
Even close or no?
Wasn't even close, dude.
Maybe that's why the Padres have the record they do.
Yeah, probably. And then I think Lindor stole 2 bags on Friday too. I think he has 12 stolen bases on the year. And I mentioned his 19th home run as well was on Friday. So Friday we were pretty happy. Again, 6-game win streak. You're like, fuck yeah, dude. Verlander wasn't terrible, but wasn't horrible. Your bullpen came in. Ottavino didn't look great. Threw 20 pitches, only 9 of them strikes. Struggled with some location. Robertson, besides the breaking ball he left for Machado, got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
So that was great on Friday. You move over to Saturday now, where the Mets did score 7 runs on Friday. They only scored 1 on Saturday. They lost to the Padres 3-1. David Peterson on the mound Pitches 5 1/3, five hits, 3 earned runs,
For
2
him,
walks.
that's lights out.
For him, that's really good. Unfortunately, who was also really good was Blake Snell.
What about Francisco Alvarez?
What do you mean, dude?
No, I'm saying he's really good.
Yeah, he is really good.
All right, I just wanted to make sure you knew.
All right, cool. I know that he's good, dude. Anyway, dude.
All-star snub?
Yeah.
I mean, really, he really should.
I mean, he has the most home runs as a catcher, I think, this season.
Yeah.
And he's going, I think he has 16 home runs now, and that is the most for any rookie catcher. 17.
Now, because we've seen it mess up a swing before, like, would you have liked to see him in the Derby, or do you think it's better that he's not?
I mean, it's so tough to kind of dictate that, but I would say for now it's better than that it's not.
Yeah.
But it's not like I would be so, like, for me, it's like 55% no, 45% would be a yes.
But
like,
the way this year is going, I wouldn't be surprised if next year he finds himself in the Derby. And I mean, listen, you know how I am with like the Mets and stuff. I said it from day one. Like, I just really think he's going to be a complete star.
Yeah.
Like best catcher in the league within a couple of years.
I mean, I really couldn't agree more. I mean, he looks so good behind the plate. He's great at the plate, and everyone loves him in the clubhouse, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe future team captain.
Yeah, that would be sick. That would be so sick. But on Saturday, Blake Snell, 6 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 3 walks, 11 Ks.
Was he facing the Yankee lineup?
That's what it seems like, right? I will say though, I looked at Snell's like last 5 starts.
He's been
absolutely lights out. I mean, we knew his ERA was definitely above 4 at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, and
it's a 2.85 now. So he's been working on some things, and you do like to see that. Because you kind of feel bad for him, the guy who was once so highly touted on the Tampa Bay Rays, like just blew it since coming over with San Diego. But when you look at the lineup here, I mean, I said, right, he only gave up 1 hit. You only got 3 hits as a team. 5 hits, excuse me. No, it was 3 hits. Yeah, 3 hits as a team. I mean, you guys got to figure out a way to like hit Blake Snell. I mean, at least hit the bullpen. They used 3 bullpen guys.
2 hits.
And it's 2 hits between those 3 guys. I mean, it's not good at all. You had Martinez who came out and struck the side out.
And he's terrible.
In the 8th.
I always
he's not good.
Don't you think he's terrible?
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, Marte is someone who's been really on my shit list recently. I understand, compared to the rest of the team, average 336 isn't terrible. But yeah, slugging is terrible. He does not get hits.
Yeah.
He doesn't hit a lot. He strikes out a lot. He's 0 for 3 on Saturday with 2 strikeouts. Beatty's kind of been struggling a little bit at the plate. I mean, obviously, no one's sure. But I understand Snell has been dealing, but when Francisco Alvarez is the only one who gets a hit, and it's it's a solo home run, but even him, like Alonso 0 for 4, 3 Ks. Alvarez struck out 3 times. Like all of our big hitters are striking out a lot on Saturday. You gotta be calm, dude. Yeah. And there was no offense till the 7th, so it was tough, dude. It was a really tough loss there. Of course, things come to an end in terms of win streaks. I mentioned it was the first time they had a 6-game win streak this year. That ended with Blake Snell right there. So you move on to Sunday, you think, all right, let's get a bounce back. Okay. We have Max Scherzer on the mound. And this is a big spot. Let's get a win to go into the All-Star break. And that's not exactly what happened at all. Max Scherzer did not pitch well. His final line was 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks. 2 of those runs coming off of solo home runs, I believe. Or maybe one was a 2-run home run. Oh, yeah. The first one actually was Machado homered in the first inning. I'd like to see a stat, honestly, on home runs giving up in the first inning off of Max Scherzer. I believe that was Max's 17th home run given up this year, making it a 3-0 game in the first inning. And then you fast forward to bottom of the 5th. Mets obviously still have not scored yet. Machado with another 2-run home run here makes it 5-0 off of Scherzer. That was his 18th home run given up this season. And just to put some food for thought here, as I mentioned, 18th home run given up. Last year, he only gave up 3. The year before that, between the Dodgers and Washington, he gave up 23 home runs. But still, I mean, we're halfway, the unofficial halfway point of the season, and you've given up 18 home runs. It's not good. It's not good at all. And that's something that Max has struggled with before. You look at some numbers like, 2016, he led the league in home runs given up at 31. But I mean, again, like you think halfway point, it seems like he may exceed that number this season if he doesn't fucking buckle down. So I mean, that's an obvious indication of why Max Scherzer sometimes does not do well. I understand his month of May was so well. He strung along some like very good starts. At one point, you would think you prefer him over Verlander, but I just feel like he's been kind of inconsistent. And in big spots, I feel like he doesn't show up very well. I mean, obviously, the biggest spot that points out to me would be the wild card start, against the Padres, last year. But even so, I mean, he hasn't given you really any indication that he can come up in a big spot. And on top of that, I mean, he's not pitching well in regular season games. So it's not a good look. Like I said, total lack of offense at this point. And then, to lose this game 3-1, I mean, it's ridiculous. And I understand, Musgrove is another pitcher who's been improving. I lost my spot here. Oh, there he is. Musgrove, his final line. I understand, again, someone improving, but 3 hits, no earned runs off of him. Come on, dude. You got to figure out a way to hit him too. I understand he's been also having a better season as of lately than he started. Again, another pitcher whose ERA was definitely above a 4, now has it down to a 3.29. But come on, man. You got to be able to hit him. And then same deal. I mean, you weren't able to hit 2 out of the 3 bullpen guys they used. You had 2 runs, off of Morjon, courtesy of a Mark Canha double. And if that's your guy who's getting you hits, I mean, that's despicable, dude. But again, like it's a similar situation with where the Yankee fans are in, where it's like, 6-game win streak was nice. It felt good. We were, pitchers were doing well. Senga was pitching well. People were hitting. But it's just like, what is it really all building towards at this point of the season? You're 42-48, I believe. And it's just like you still have to come out, like you tried to go into the All-Star break with some momentum. You kind of deflated that momentum, and you still have to have a record-setting second year to really feel comfortable going into the playoffs with any type of, I guess, a feeling of contention, and you still have to figure out if you want to make some moves now. I know there's a lot of different talks, with Quintana coming back.
When is he going to start?
They said after the All-Star break.
Has he made any rehab?
Yes, he has been doing rehab starts. Again, it's kind of unofficial, but they're talking about what they're going to do the rotation. It seems like they want to go 5-man rotation is where they're kind of leaning towards. So just plopping Quintana in there, keeping Peterson, keeping Senga, obviously Verlander, Scherzer, which I'm about.
Yeah.
I feel like giving Scherzer, Verlander as much rest as possible is probably good. Giving Senga as much rest as possible is also probably a good thing too. So I think that's probably the best move. And hopefully, again, like you want to hope Quintana comes in, is already dealing, and the extra off time will help the rest of your pitchers. Because I mean, even Verlander, who pitches well, still comes out, gives up runs in the first inning. I mean, it's just like
push comes to shove. Do you think one of them gets moved before the deadline or no?
I mean, it's so tough, dude, to kind of figure it out with their contracts. And I think the Mets I think they pay over $50 million for players that aren't on the team.
Right, including Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah.
Robinson
Cano. Yeah, just to name a couple. So, I mean, I wouldn't think that, I don't think Cohen is going to like think twice about moving one of them if he wants to. So, yeah, I could see Scherzer getting dealt if I had to pick one.
Yeah. And I mean, if it's one of those things where you have a couple of shots with a couple of prospects, but it's nobody crazy, like in terms of like rankings, and then you still have to pay some of the contract, like, do you want to take that shot, or would you rather just have like bank on him rebounding and being a catalyst for you down the stretch?
Honestly, I would rather banking on him.
Yeah, you would need something. I mean, I guess the only chance you would have is if just he comes out guns a-blazing after the All-Star break, and then you could trade him.
Which is possible. And I mean, like, what do I want to trade him for many prospects for anyway? We have prospects. I understand more prospects are good, but it's just like, are we trying to be good in 3 years? I mean, I don't know, dude. Like,
Tony, it's not fair to both of us, though. We shouldn't be this beaten down at this point.
We really shouldn't be, dude. And it's tough. I mean, they come back from the All-Star break, play the Dodgers at home, but then White Sox, and then they're in Fenway.
Chicago, Boston. Like they're going on the road.
No, the homestand for Dodgers
three. Oh no, 2
for Dodgers and White Sox.
And then they go to
homestand, and
Fenway.
they go to Fenway.
Gotcha.
Which honestly would probably be a good time to go to Fenway.
Yeah.
Weekend too, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'd be pretty sick. And then as you know, Yankee Stadium after that. So
yeah.
I mean, Dodgers, you want to take one.
Yeah. But it just
White Sox, you should want to sweep, I guess. Red Sox, you can do some damage there.
It just shouldn't be like this. I'm really sick of it, Tony.
Yeah, man. I mean, now at this point again, like you're 42 and 48.
Yeah.
Let's go on like a 10-game win streak.
Yeah.
Like that's what would be like 52 and 48, would be sick, dude. Especially to come out like All-Star break, dude, like sweep the Dodgers would be sick. And then you can feel good about, playing the White Sox, feel good about playing the Red Sox. You take 2 from the Yankees. After that, I think it's a 4-game homestand against the Nationals, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it kind of sets you up kind of nice there.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what happens, right?
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. But obviously, it's at this point, you kind of written off the Mets in terms of, winning a World Series. So it's like kind of you're happy about the 6-game win streak and whatever, but it's just like you kind of expected them to, not have any offense on yesterday or Saturday and just kind of blow it a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude.
That's where we are.
That's where we are, man.
And it's a shame too, because growing up, I always really enjoyed the All-Star break, the Derby, the game, and the game is definitely lost its luster. The Derby, I still feel like is a pretty solid product. But it's tough not to think about the struggles of your own team instead of focusing on this Derby. And at least you have, you have a horse in the ring or whatever, a hat in the ring, with Alonso. I obviously just fan perspective, but like I said, growing up, the Derby was in all seriousness one of my favorite things to watch.
Yeah.
I would look forward to it every year. So hope we get a good one. And I believe it was 20 years ago they had the All-Star game in Seattle. So kind of cool to have it there again, but then also it doesn't make sense that Yankee Stadium has been around for 14 years and there hasn't been one All-Star game, but Seattle has 2.
Sound tight.
I mean, a little bit, because it's just like we're gonna have an All-Star game there, but the thing's 20 years old. And I actually just did this myself.
Oh, you did just do it.
So I think what would be good there, Tony, is if you want to do yours, and then I don't know how, or you want to go.
No,
you
let's just do one together.
Oh, okay, no, I was just gonna say like you go to the bracket, you'd say, okay, I like this guy, and I could say if I have a difference of opinion or not.
Yeah, I like that too.
All
right, cool. So let's do it.
Start at the top.
Start at the top here. Interesting seating, by the way. As Luis Robert is the number 1 seed. I forget what the criteria was, by the way, but I think he has
home runs
since
July 4th.
I thought it was
and
June
then
15th.
If it was that's the tiebreaker.
Yeah, that's the tiebreaker. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. So Robert versus Rutschman. I'm gonna go Rutschman.
Nice.
What did you do? You went Robert?
I gotta go Robert just because I feel like Adley's more of a gap hitter, not a power hitter. Not to say that he's not gonna hit 25 home runs, but Robert could hit 40. It seems like.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll see. I don't know. I think young gun though, energy coming in. 8 seed beat the 1 seed. It happens, dude. Next up, you have the 4 seed playing the 5 seed. Dolis Garcia versus Randy Arozarena. I'm gonna go with Garcia.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, I just think Arozarena would be
more raw power. Arozarena again, kind of a gap hitter. Still hit some home runs, but Garcia with more power.
And then here we have Mookie Betts against Vlad Guerrero Jr. I go with Mookie Betts, honestly.
I'm gonna go with Vladdy.
Really?
I just feel like Mookie hits home runs, but like for something like this, Vlad, he's been there before. I think he'll have a better performance. As much as my distaste for him has grown over the years, I do think he's going to win this one.
Next up, you got Alonso versus Rodriguez. I'm not like excited about the matchup, but I say Alonso takes it, honestly.
And not, I know it's like, too typical me, but just being dead serious of what I think is going to happen,
Julio.
Not me rooting against the Mets. I do think Julio, the home crowd, and I think it's tough. We've seen guys go back and try to win another derby and 3 derbies. I mean, it's tough to do it that many times. And I think I could see Julio putting on a performance for the home crowd.
You make it really hard to not think you just hate the Mets.
Tony, we've talked about this. I've been so dialed back this year from last year.
Next up, now we're into the second round. We have Rutschman versus Garcia. I'm gonna go Rutschman again, dude.
Interesting.
I'm telling you right now.
I am going to go with Garcia.
Okay.
Power wise over Robert.
Right.
That'll be a really good one, though. By the way.
Yeah. I think so. If we get that, and then I'll go Alonso Rutschman.
I'm gonna go Julio over Vladdy.
Wow.
To set up Garcia versus Rodriguez, the 4 versus the 7. You have Rutschman versus Alonso. You're saying the 3-time winner of the home run derby, Peter Alonso.
Bang, baby.
And the hometown guy. We haven't seen a hometown guy win one of these in a little bit.
No, that's correct, dude.
Maybe did Bryce Harper last year in DC?
No. Who won last year?
What?
I don't think he won last year.
No, not last year. I'm saying his last year in DC.
Oh, his last year.
I think he did. And he was having a terrible year, but he still got voted in.
I think you're right. Yeah. 2018. 2018. That was his last year, right?
Yeah. There we go.
45 home runs. Jesus, dude.
Yeah, that is
it's pretty intense.
So that was the last time, 5 years ago.
Peter Alonso's gonna be your winner, dude.
Julio Rodriguez.
Who won it last year? I'm trying to picture.
Yeah, I feel like I almost can't even name anybody the last 5 years.
Who won it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can name one person who won it.
Alonso.
Yeah.
Judge was 6 years ago.
Wasn't Pujols?
Pujols had a run last year, right?
Yeah,
Did he get to the finals?
I think he got to the semifinals.
Okay.
Because I remember I think he beat Schwarber.
Okay. Yep. So Soto actually won last year.
Oh, Soto won it
when he was still with the Nationals.
Oh, that's right. I remember that. I do remember.
And then we didn't have one in 2020, but Alonso won 2019, 2021.
Yeah.
And then Harper, Judge, Stanton, Frazier, Cespedes. Kind of interesting. A lot of New York players.
Yeah.
Cano, another one.
That is pretty crazy.
So yeah, I think this will be a fun event for sure. Oh, and I am seeing the last time, Tony. So it was actually 22 years ago that we had a All-Star game in Seattle, and Luis Gonzalez that year won the home run derby.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, what a throwback.
I know. So hopefully, we'll get a good derby here. That is for sure. And I guess it says 7 Eastern, but I feel like it's one of those things where it's actually going to start at 8, Tony, or no?
Yeah, I think so, dude. Coverage starts at 7, I'm sure.
Yeah. But other than that, Tony, anything else you wanted to mention here
on the way out?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, dude.
Just
have a nice day.
Have a nice day, and hopefully a better second half around the corner.
Yeah, we really fucking ended on a low here, huh?
We're too beaten down though. It can't be like this.
I know, it sucks, dude. Sorry. Let's enjoy the break here.
You seem so enthused, Tony.
No, I'll be watching the derby, dude.
All right,
probably. I don't know, honestly. It's about a lot of rigmarole.
You're gonna watch the derby. There's nothing else to watch tonight.
Yeah, there really isn't, dude.
I mean, maybe something on your screen time list, for next time.
Yeah. For next time,
you did some heavy watching over the weekend.
I did, dude. Actually, I watched a lot over the weekend. That actually reminds me too. I forgot Wimbledon took place over the weekend.
Yeah.
Do you know who won?
No. I did see though that was it Jordan Spieth and Ricky Fowler and Justin Thomas?
Yeah, they were all there.
Medvedev. I don't even know any of these guys other than Djokovic.
Medvedev is definitely very familiar.
But I'm saying I don't. I don't know him though.
So we're still playing.
Fourth round. So, be interesting to see if Djokovic can win this one.
Jokic. I know Djokovic and Jokic.
Yeah, it's a little confusing.
Dude. Yeah, I guess so, dude. So I guess we'll figure out winners on Wednesday. Is it really this deep into the week they normally play?
No. The final is probably Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. That's cool, I guess. I don't remember. Is it really that long?
Yeah, it's the group play, all this nonsense.
Wow, dude, the nonsense. But yeah, dude, I think that's really it.
I feel like we've been off our tennis game. I don't know what happens,
dude.
I don't know.
I know. I know. Normally, I was so into it.
I feel like it's just the collapse of the big three. Like it's just Djokovic and then the new era guys that we don't know. We don't know Medvedev and Popsov, or I don't even know how to say the name, but like
Andy Murray was playing. Did you see that?
He I know he's struggled, right? Because he has that hip condition.
Yeah, he's got like health issues. Like I'm surprised.
Like he used to be fun to watch. I know Nadal's injured and basically going to retire. Fed just retired, I think, last year. So that's all we got.
Yeah, dude.
And just looking ahead here, I was looking All-Star game wise. So next year in Texas, that's going to be a good one.
Austin?
No, the Rangers Stadium.
Oh, okay.
I think that'll be a good one though. Honestly, that stadium, the Derby, it should be fun.
We should go.
Yeah, that would be great.
Never been there.
Nothing announced in 2025, and the Phillies in 2026. I have a sneaking suspicion, Tony. Maybe Yankee Stadium. No,
in 2025.
Yeah.
Why would they announce 2026 and not 2025?
Because there's still like there's probably a couple people that are close. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. We just had one at Dodger Stadium, and Citi Field had an All-Star game, right?
Yes.
Matt Harvey started it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of like newer ballparks, but I mean, I guess, and it's not newer, of course, but like older actually. But like Fenway and Wrigley, I guess, haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Fenway was 98. I don't even know Wrigley.
Yeah.
Seems like it's been a while since we've had one in St. Louis. Trying to just see who else is due here. Petco had it in 2016. The Reds. The Giants had it in 2007. I mean, the Yankees are really due. But I guess actually, the Braves' new stadium hasn't had one.
I was just gonna say that, yeah. Yeah, we got a list here too.
Miller Park 02, but there's not much juice there.
Yeah, no.
Camden Yards hasn't had one in a while. Just looking at that, I mean, what's your guess?
Honestly, like I guess Yankees in 08 was the last time, huh?
Yeah, in the old Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, so that is pretty.
That seems the most likely.
Yeah.
Or Braves because it's a newer stadium first.
I would like Braves better than the Yankee Stadium.
Well, it'd be fun to go.
I'd go to Atlanta.
Toronto hasn't had one in forever too.
That would be sick. I would go to the Sky Dome.
Yeah, Wrigley. I guess that was the last one in 1990. Looks like it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, definitely nothing after that. Comerica Park, dude.
No way. That is a ghost town over there.
When was this time the Dodgers had it? The Dodgers had it
last year.
Yeah. What? Oh, yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
I don't think they're due.
Yeah. Wow, drew almost 60,000 people though.
Oh, and Citizens Bank actually hasn't had one. I didn't realize that.
Wow, 1981, Cleveland Stadium, 72,000 people.
Yeah,
that seems to be the most populated.
Looks like it. 69 though in 1935 in Cleveland. That's not bad.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Yeah,
pulling a lot, dude.
Home of the All-Star game.
But all right, dude. And that's basically it, huh?
Push comes to shove. Your life depended on it. First couple weeks out of the break, are we going to be happy campers?
If my life had to depend on it, I would say, oh God, dude. I'm just thinking about like the Mets getting swept by the Dodgers and then struggling against the White Sox and Red Sox and not doing well against the Yankees.
Losing 2 out of 3 in Colorado.
No, I think we're happy.
Yeah,
I do. I think we're gonna be happy.
Well, I hope for your sake.
Yes, me too.
But yeah, all that being said, great to be back with everyone today and appreciate everybody tuning in, continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. We want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the Derby.
Let's go, Pete.
And we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.